What's up, gang? It's Deltia from DeltiasGaming.com to show off my new Sorc build, Ricochet. Just hit level 25 and I wanted to kind of show you guys what I'm doing. So I'm going to kind of do a different video, work through a quest, talk about skill, and just highlight the things that make this build awesome. So for those of you who don't know, haven't watched the level 10 build, I'm using a Wood Elf. Yes, a Wood Elf, Bosmer. No, I'm not a cannibal. But the passives are too good to pass up on a stand-based build. As you can see, I'm just ripping through this stuff. Hopefully, I'm almost two-shotting pretty much everything. Right there, that did almost 2,600 without a crit. Rat, poor rat. So let's go over the skills first. Skills, gear, everything. Here we go. Alright, so for this build, I'm using a 2-bar setup. Two-hander, and then also bow. So yes, it's a stamina-based build. I have a couple double abilities on both bars, so they don't turn on and off. And I'm going to explain each of them here real quick after I just nuke this kid. How dare you, skeleton? Okay, so skills. My primary bar is two-hander. Two-hander is just one of the best single-target DPS in the game. Endgame or starting out, it's amazing. Has some self-healing components. It has a great leap. It's just beastly. So I'm going to kind of explain the build now and what I plan on doing in the future. So the skills that I'm using, crit rush. So basically this launches you into the opponent, but you have to be 3.5 meters back. The further you are back, the harder this thing hits. So you want to basically have max distance on this, charging in. But really the whole build centers around one ability, Surge. When I get the morph, I'm going to morph this to crit Surge. Basically, critical strikes heal you for 40% of the damage done. Okay? Crit rush automatically crits. See the symmetry here? So we can always basically have a self-heal just by doing damage. And so that is the reason why you don't have to rely on so much healing as a stamina Sorc. That's why I chose this build specifically. So you got crit rush, but really you're going to activate Surge up at almost all times. You're going to have more time with it the longer you level it up and so forth. But Surge is your main ability. So you're going to crit rush in. Then you can do a various couple of different things. One is Brawler. Brawler is basically a bleed. It does some upfront damage, not that hot heavy, but it gives you a bubble, a small bubble for each enemy that you hit. So it does swipe in front of you, but the bubble is the nice thing, plus the bleed. So you can actually start with this ability second. And it looks like this. So it doesn't hit 360 degrees, but it does hit decently hard, puts a dot on them. That's a good AoE damage since we're not using dual wield. Okay, so once you do that, get a dot on them, do some AoE, then you're going to go into the Wrecking Blow spam. Yes, Wrecking Blow spam. One of the reasons it's the best ability in the game is it grants you empowering for the next damage ability that you do, including Wrecking Blow. So you can literally just spam this over and over and over and do damage like just through the roof. It doesn't cost that much. It does have a 1-second cast time, so there is a downside to it, but it has a stun and knocks him back. Why is a knockback important? Well, we can crit rush. Yet again, get a self-heal, knocking him back that 3.5 meters that we want. And then the last ability is Unstable Clan Fear. Now you can swap this ability out for Reverse Slash if you like, but I like the Unstable Clan Fear. Basically gets enemies' attention for soloing and also gives you a mega heal when you unsummon it. So if I unsummon it, I get 2,000 health back. As a 1-second cast, takes up all my magic, but it's just nice leveling around because, I mean, really, it just gives me huge health influx if I'm low. And it also gets enemies' attention, so if I am meleeing around, sometimes this will take pressure off me. Alright, so let's show you how to do this. We're going to buff crit Surge, we're going to YOLO in, and then we're going to Brawler. Oh, and he does a Wrecking Blow to me, not so fast. Boom, Wrecking Blow. So, once again, charge in, Brawler, Wrecking Blow. Charge in, Brawler, Wrecking Blow. It's that simple. And then if you had an Unstable Clan Fear off your bar, you go with Executioner, so you had a stamina-based Execute. That's really all the build is, and even at this level, these guys don't stand a chance against me. So like I said, if you have a lot of self-healing, don't use Unstable Clan Fear, use this. But I really like it. couple other things to know is that the Wrecking Blow Empowering includes your next attacks, like light and heavy attacks as well. So the trick to this build is knowing when to light attack, because light attack or heavy attack is how you generate ultimate. So if you just YOLO in and don't use any abilities or don't use any attacking, you'll never generate ultimate. So you got a buff. Usually I light attack right now, then a brawler, then Wrecking Blow. So after 8 seconds, you need to light attack again, generally when I do a crit rush. Now I'm generating ultimate. So you have to know when to keep on doing that. So right here, empowering. Oh gosh. So my sword usually glows. 1 second. Of course, the sword's not going to glow when I do a video. Why would it glow when I do a video? Boom. Oh, you're back up, mister? Usually your oh, crit surge is up so it doesn't glow, but usually your sword will glow after you do Wrecking Blow. And that tells you that the empowering's up. Where are you? Another little combo here is to do Wrecking Blow and then crit surge to them. So you can crit surge in, that's a mega self heal, Wrecking Blow them back, and then peel back a little bit. Because remember, the damage is increased per distance. My Wrecking Blow got out first. See how I peel back a little bit? You backpedal, then go in. You're going to do more damage if you backpedal. You're dead already. Why are you running? No, you're going to my Clanfer. See, look. Clanfer comes in handy, leveling. Oh, boom. Oh my god. This thing hits so damn hard. So that's the skills on bar 1. The skills on bar 2 are bow. I don't use bow a whole lot. I will later on in the game. But the 2 abilities that I'm using right now are Venom Arrow. Puts people off balance, gives you a dot, and it just, you know, it stuns them if they're casting. So it keeps enemies off balance. And then Arrow Spray. Arrow Spray basically just snares enemies in front of you, doing some AoE damage. So these are okay. What really you're going to need to get is Snipe. At level 38, then this build becomes amazing. I also double barred Surge, because I want it to get experience on both bars. No matter what bar I'm using, I want this to get experience. Now later on in the game, you're going to want to have Expert Hunter, because that's going to give you more weapon critical. You're probably going to double bar this right here instead of Crit Surge, and then put Crit Surge maybe here. And then that here means Restraining Prison. I'm using this as a Sorc ability. It's basically kind of like a, I don't know, a Talons from the Dragon Knight. It keeps enemies in front of you. And then also I double barred Unstable Clanfear. The 2 ultimates that I'm using is a Storm Atro, great for damage, lasts a long time, and gives the major berserk. And then also Suppression Field. So I like this because it gives you minor protection, and it basically stun locks everything. So let me show you the bow. So that's Restraining Prison. See them? They can't get to me. Takes a lot of magic, but they're not getting to me. And then Bombard to slow them down. So if this guy's casting like this, I'm going to Venom Arrows face off. He crit surge up. They get close to me. After a crit surge, don't hit me. Boom. They're not getting close to me. I got them snared. So that's kind of how the bow bar works. So now I got to show you Atro. Boom! Ah, that guy hits like a truck. You're also going to want someone to pop that synergy, because if they hit that synergy, you're going to do more damage. And they're going to do more damage. So it's really, really valuable. And that's kind of the skill setup. Not very complicated, especially double barring 2 things. But it is pretty effective. You can see me on the stream just nuking stuff, and I guess right here too. Nuking things, and once Crit Surge gets on your bar, it is utterly amazing. Some other key components to this build is your medium armor. You really have to invest in Windwalker right away. Because unlike light armor, we get Windwalker gives you stamina and reduced stamina cost all in one passive. 2 points. You got to get this right away. As far as the class passives, Unholy Knowledge is a no-brainer. Stamina cost reduction by 5%. That's amazing. Once you get Dark Exchange, you can actually get a Morph here that gives you back stamina for magic. That's pretty good. Also, Power Stone's pretty good. Ultimate cost. The rest of these are kind of magic based, so I don't even take them yet. Really, I go focused in the weapon skill lines. So you're going to want basically all the passives, you know that. But the passives that reduced cost. Mage's Guild, nothing. Fighter's Guild, huge. Hugely important that you get Expert Hunter. That's that weapon crit you're going to want a double bar. Later on, I'm actually going to go with Warhorn because there's a morph that increases the amount of critical damage that you do as a party. So guess what? The harder you crit, the more health you're going to get back. See where I'm going with this? And then racially, you're going to want all these passives. Look at this. Bosmer is meant for a stamina Sorc. I mean, this thing is beastly, especially in PvP. Now, this build, can I do PvP with it? Yes. This is not meant for PvP necessarily. Like, not my type of PvP. A lot of people do the 1vx stuff. I don't do that necessarily because I'm always in a group. This is not a good group PvP build. It's not. I don't offer a lot of utility. I'm kind of solo YOLO rogue. But if you wanted to solo YOLO, this build will work way better than my other ones. Because you have great self-heals, you have a guaranteed crit, an opener, a bunch of stuns, roots on your back bar, and awesome ultimates. So if that's kind of your PvP style, I would love this build. But like I said, that's not what I do. So I did it today and was not very successful. Because usually I have to have cleanses, heals, blah, blah, blah. But maybe the option is there. So let's go over gear real quick and check out the rest of the build. So Lobby gear for medium armor has some interesting build / mechanics that you can use. I'm using crafted sets, and yes, I married Mavicorn on this character. I know. I'm using a couple crafted sets. One, a lot of people aren't going to have access to probably, is Way of the Arena. Reduces cost of break free by 40%. Delta, you're leveling. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because basically I can have a really low level piece of gear and pretty much run through it the entire game. So I really, really like that. I probably don't plan on crafting another one, Shut Up Clanfear, for a very long time. So that's why I went with that. And that's probably not the best thing because people aren't going to have a whole lot of opportunity to get that. So I'd really go with Hunding Rage. Hunding's Rage, 6 traits. It does take a little bit. You could even do, Ashen's Grips, Night Silence, Night Mother's Gaze, anything that gives you magicka or stamina regeneration. Speaking of stamina regeneration, the other set that I'm using is Night Silence because it does have so much stamina regeneration. I think medium armor builds are really hard to pull off at the beginning of the game. They get much, much, much easier later on, and especially at endgame PvP, they're amazing. But at the beginning, you just don't have the stamina to block, run, CC break, and especially leveling around. So that's why I usually go magic starting off. So that's 3 pieces on that, and it's always on. Since I have a bow, it's always on. And then the arena set. The jewelry that I use is just reduced cost stamina. So nothing super fantastic. But I have some really cool gear options for you that you can do. So Mask of Shadows, what this does, recover 2,000 health when activating ultimate. Now, the reason they put a cooldown on this is because Sorcs have a huge advantage. As a Sorc, you can activate Overload and get a 3rd bar. Now, just activating Overload will proc that 2,000 damage from this skill. So even at endgame, you can use this every 10 seconds to get a major, major heal. So Mask of Shadows, I got tons of these just laying around, but I don't have all the pieces. But it's something to do if you wanted to run Overload, and maybe instead of Negate, just to get health back. So that's pretty cool, huh? All right, another set here. I might have enough for the shadows, do I? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. That math is not good. The other set you can use is the Viper. This is mainly for probably, dual wielders, but melee attacks deal some poison damage, and it gives you weapon critical, a lot of weapon crit. So it's kind of a cool set if you're fortunate enough to get the pieces. But the Overload and this shadow is like a game changer early on in the game. It's crazy. And then another thing here is this. I crafted myself. It gives you stamina recovery for 2 hours, magic health and stamina. Let's see, it's not activated now, is it? Nope. I like the drinks. You're going to need a lot of recovery starting out. So I have 761, which actually is not too bad starting out. I'm a werewolf, and I have the Tower Mundus. Look at my stamina. That's pretty good. 9,400 is really good. So let's see what we get in Cyrodiil if we go there, just to see kind of comparison to what I got for the other one, which is my Nightblade. Also, I go full attributes into stamina. People always ask me about attributes. You know, I don't get too concerned with it. I just go full attributes into stam. As a Bosmer Wood Elf, basically you don't get a whole lot of stats like an Imperial, but you do get the recovery. I do plan to do major PvP later on in the game, probably around the VR ranks with this character. Just after I get more of the armor passes, like the sneak, the athletics ones. I did name this character Dodge-Rolling-Diva, so yes, I will be doing a lot of PvP. Okay, so what are my stats at in Cyrodiil? So 1251 stamina recovery. Not bad for starting out. Good weapon critical, tons of weapon damage. See, the stamina doesn't scale as well, but you can see here, it does work pretty well. And so that's kind of the build. I can do some gameplay and PvP. I do plan on doing more dungeons and having videos of me actually doing more gameplay with this. But really, customize it to what you want. If you need more healing, put the, you know, this guy on. Benny. So I call him Benny. If you don't need more healing, take it off and do some more damage, basically stamina. As far as classes I recommend for this, or races, Imperial, Bosmer is really good, which is what I am. Imperial is really good. Probably going to do more damage at endgame, but I plan on doing PvP. And then also Redguard would be a strong choice. But ultimately, you can make it work on anything. I hope you guys like this build, and more to come on Ricochet. And you're going to know why I call it Ricochet really soon. Thanks for watching.